Have you been searching for a Flutter job for many months and you couldn't find a Flutter job, and you have been applying to many companies and they are not replying you back? Have they not answered or replied back on your emails? Well, I got the unconventional solution for you. So, how do you get a Flutter job the unconventional way? So this is from my experience, and I don't guarantee that you will get a job, but this is not a normal way to find a job. So before I start, I'm not available for hire. I'm doing my own thing. I'm creating my YouTube channel. I'm creating a Flutter platform. If you're interested, link in the description where you can learn Flutter interactively with videos and exercises and hands-on with Flutter. Before I start, there is one thing that I want to share. So currently, finding a Flutter job personally and realistically is very hard. If you were to compare to find a job in .NET developer or Angular developer or a React developer, there is more chance for you to get hired. But the thing is, for Flutter jobs, if you were to look at different countries and compare with the different roles that you want to compare with, for example, the web development role, right? Web development has more chances of you getting a job, while Flutter has lesser chance because your country might not have a lot of companies that are young who would take the risk of going to the Flutter route. So this is just my realistic point of view. I'm not saying to stop learning Flutter. I'm saying that if you really want to get a developer job, then find a developer job that is popular at your area. So you can be, for example, a React developer, but at the side, after you work in the React framework, you can learn Flutter at the side. But if you really want to get a Flutter job, then you probably have to do what I'm going to explain later, and the job process will take longer because there's not a lot of Flutter jobs out there. You probably have to be good at, for example, a YouTube channel explaining Flutter concepts, because I think personally, if I'm not able to explain the concepts very well, or if I'm not able to get certain videos to have certain amount of views out there, then I wouldn't have a lot of people asking me whether I'm available for hire, which I'm not. So let's get started with the video. So first of all, as you can see, I have a YouTube channel and I got inspired by Nick White. So he's another tech YouTuber, I would say a coding YouTuber, and he talks about how getting a YouTube channel actually can help build a very good community, which I'm really excited that he's trying to do that. And also at the same time, you are able to showcase how you're able to explain certain concepts and I guess programming. So basically, with having a YouTube channel, which is I think very important, because people like me who wants to see people's skills, I would rather see someone explain. So at the same time, in Nick White video, he talks about how if you're able to explain certain concept, that means that you also have some sort of communication skills to talk to other people. So developers out there don't work in silos or don't work in one man cave. They work with other people. So communication is also very important. So how do you even express that you have good communication skills? Putting on a resume doesn't really help. Putting on your LinkedIn or social media doesn't really help. When you explain a concept in a video format, people will think that you're able to explain difficult concepts well, because currently documentation is not the best place for you to learn any kind of concepts. So the best way is to explain in your own terms and hopefully in a way that everybody or most people understand. Because a lot of people in an organization, if they want to understand, for example, a bug and they really want to know how they can prevent it, usually the project manager or even the founder of a startup wants to know how to implement certain structures to prevent these kind of bugs. Then they want to know how these concepts of bugs actually happen, and that's where your communication skills is helpful in that situation. Because if you were to give jargons to your boss or supervisor or project manager, they wouldn't understand and they'd be like, why did I even hire this person? So having a YouTube channel actually really helps, and also it builds a bunch of people who follows you and builds a community around it, which I really want to do. Shout out to Nick White on the video that he made, and that really inspired me to make this video. Not the YouTube channel, but this video. Having a YouTube channel and posting it consistently will actually make you more credible, because the more videos that you have, the more that people see, hey, this person has a lot more videos. also at the same time, this is a little bit of more work, but you also have to get a popular video out there. If you have a lot of videos that doesn't have a lot of popularity, meaning in views and likes, right, then it's a little bit hard for people to be reliant on the knowledge that you're trying to explain on the video. So trying to have, I would say, one hit video that has more than maybe 1,000 views. This is just my opinion. I don't know what kind of metrics people care about. If you were to have a video that has 1,000 views and a lot of people are telling you like, hey, good job on explaining the concept of, for example, block or provider, then people will be happy to know that, okay, so other people understand this concept. Okay, I'm gonna hire him because he's able to explain the concept very well. So that's the first point. YouTube channel and posting it consistently. How to get 1,000 views? I have no idea. You know, there's a lot of things, but I guess one thing to know is that always jump on the hype bandwagon. So if there's anything new that comes up, just create a video about it. And just, you don't have to explain or even do a tutorial. You can just say your own opinions about it and see how it goes. Alright, the second thing is that going to events and speak at events. So this is something that some of you might be afraid of because you have not tried doing public speaking before. So for me, I'm pretty natural in public speaking. So first of all, events is where people, like-minded individuals, will like to know more about what you are trying to speak. So for example, if I were to talk about Flutter in a community where people don't know Flutter, then I have a value to those community. So for example, I talked at a Junior Dev SG and talking about what Flutter is about and whether Flutter is good or bad. And then people are like, hey, I've tried Flutter, and people are like, hey, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I have a couple of stories where people get hired from speaking at events. So first one is that there is someone that I know when he speak at events, like I think in IoT or Internet of Things, where it's just microchips or these small computers, and he talks about how he likes doing IoT and stuff, right? So his future supervisor or his current supervisor was one of the audience, and he really likes the presentation of how he does it, and then he offered him a job. And that's the thing, like, that's so cool. You don't even have to apply for a job. People gain recognition from what you have talked about, and then they say, hey, why not you work in my company and see how it goes? And in the end, he got a job, and he really liked his current job right now. Second thing is that I got like a job offer kind of when I was trying to speak at an online event in the current Flutter Singapore meetup. So I was trying to explain the different providers you can use. So one of the other speakers was a software developer in another startup, and he said like, hey Haris, since you are like kind of free and available, why not you work for my startup right now? We need someone like you inside our startup. So I'm like, no. And the thing is that, like I said earlier, people who are like-minded, and also most of the time software developers are currently working in a company, and the thing is, if they like your presentation, then they might hire you. So just put yourself out there. And the thing is, don't think that one speaking event will land you a job. You probably have to do many events, get good at it, and really know what you want to talk about. And the thing is, the more you do it, the more comfortable and confident you are speaking to large amounts of people. And the thing is, when you're confident, people will be confident in hiring you. So that is something that you can try it out. I'm not saying that this will work and such. And the last thing is that going to events, talking to people, mingling around, whether you're an introvert or extrovert, you just have to go outside that bubble of yours, of your safety net, and just talk to people. And you may chance upon an opportunity to work for a person who's currently working in a company, who's finding someone. And the thing is, it is like, you could say, a foot in the door kind of opportunity, because you're going out there, you're talking to people. People then recognize your personality, your strengths, your weakness, your interests, and your experience. And if they were to have a warm approach on who you are as a person with your first impression, you could say this is like a warm lead. Then they are able to, like, you know, get back to you on opportunities that they have in the company. So that's another thing for you out there who are looking for a Flutter job. And lastly, create content on social media platform. The thing is, I believe in social media platform has very good opportunities for you to showcase your work, because people can't rely on just your stupid resume. Humans are visual people. They will look at your current project. So how I got my first Flutter job is I showed a project that I did, like a quiz, a very simple quiz Flutter app, and then that builds up the confidence of the employer who's trying to employ you. So the thing is that when they see your work and then you're able to go through the different steps of how you solve certain problems, then you're able to make the employer be confident in hiring you. If they don't answer you back, then you can just post on social media, and the more content you do, the better you get at it, and then the more people will see your work, and then there will be a chance where someone will be interested to talk to you, to have an interview and such. Alright, so that's about it. That is the 3 things that I personally think that you're able to get a Flutter developer job, or even a developer job itself. So like I said earlier at the start of the video, getting a Flutter job realistically is very, very hard. Maybe in the next 2 or 3 years there will be more Flutter jobs because new companies will get started, and then they will think like, alright, so if I were to create a mobile app, I think I will go to the route of either React Native or mobile, because I will have to hire one person to do the job of 2 iOS and Android kind of development. Or just saying, you can start your own company, you know, and then you create a mobile app that solves a problem that a lot of people are facing using Flutter if it is required. So that's about it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want more of this kind of video, subscribe down below and comment down below, how do you get your Flutter job? So that's about it. Hopefully this advice helps you, and stay safe and all the best. Bye. Baby.